If you're doing anything worthwhile or making any kind of an impact, you can expect to draw attention to yourself as well as draw criticism. However, you don't have to worry about that as long as you are prepared, you're equipped, and you're qualified to do whatever it is that you're doing. That's how you silence your critics. I'm Valante Maria. Thank you so much for joining me for the Sanctuary Sunday School. If you're enjoying these videos, I'd like you to go ahead and share, because we really want to share the Word of God with as many people as we possibly can. Also, if you have not done so, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss anything. This week's subject is Jesus silences his critics. And once again, we're in the book of Luke. Now, Jesus is eating with the Pharisees again, like he was last week. And one would ask, why does he keep going to eat with them? He knows that they're just trying to trip him up or prove him wrong. But that's a lesson again for us as well, because last week we talked about hypocrisy, right? One of the biggest reasons why people don't want to come to church. This week, they were paying close attention to him. He was being closely watched. That indicates judgment. And that's another biggie. Don't judge me, right? So we see that Jesus was confronted with all of these things. The lesson for me is that if Jesus had to deal with it, then so do we. And that's no excuse to stop. So he was there and they were paying very close attention to him. And then there was also a man there who was sick. Jesus asked them two questions. First question, is it okay to heal this man on the Sabbath? Now, let's talk about the Sabbath. The Sabbath is a day that is set aside for rest and worship. It is ordained by God and outlined in the Mosaic law. So Jesus asked them this question because, okay, the man is sick. It's technically work for me to heal him. Is it okay to heal this man? They had nothing to say. Jesus asked them a second question. Okay, if there is a child and an ox that falls in a well, is it okay to get them out? Because again, that would be work. Now, another huge component of the Mosaic law is showing mercy and helping other people. So if someone were to fall into a well, an animal or a person, according to the Mosaic law, you should help them out. But also, according to the Mosaic law, you don't work on the Sabbath. So what happens if someone needs help that requires work on the Sabbath? And this is the situation that they were in. And Jesus put it to them in a way, he questioned them in a way that they could not give him a correct answer, because some could have seen it wrong and some could have seen it right. So they opted to be quiet. And one thing that I love about Jesus, even though he was the Son of God, if you pay close attention to his ministry and the way that he dealt with people, he knew the word. He knew the law, which is why the Pharisees could not trip him up, because again, he did not come to condemn the law. He came that the righteousness of the law would be fulfilled in us. So this is an example for us. And even today, we live in a day and age which is a 24-hour world. It used to be so that you didn't have to work on Sundays because nothing was open. People just rested and went to church on Sundays. I would never tell anybody to quit their job if they have to work on Sunday. I've just always opted not to take a job on Sunday. But I will say this. Back in the day, I taught Sunday school at 9:30. I brought the choir in, directed the choir at 11 o'clock. Then I came back and I ran the youth service at 6 o'clock, YPWW. And then I also directed the choir and was very active in that evening service. Now, I have never worked harder on anybody's job than I have on Sundays at my church. So with that being said, it kind of fits into what Jesus was talking about, but on a modern day level, because sometimes we're easy to condemn people, right, for what they do and be critical and pay attention to others like the Pharisees did, but we're not looking at ourselves. And we don't want to be modern day Pharisees, because ultimately the law of God is rooted in the love of God. And at no point should anyone ever use the law of God as an excuse not to show love and extend mercy and grace to our brothers and sisters. Inasmuch as God extended grace and mercy toward us, if we are children of God, we will extend it to our brothers and our sisters. Now, last week I started something new for season 7 that I absolutely love. I added a questionnaire to the lesson on the link. Click on the link, go down to the descriptions and click on the link and answer those questions. It's questions about the lesson because I want your input. I want to know what your application is, and then I'm going to circle back and share that input with you. Last week I really enjoyed reading your responses. I think my favorite answer came from Dolores. One of the questions I think was, how do you overcome hypocrisy? And I loved her answer. I don't have the exact wording of it, but she said something to the effect of, I just tell myself that I am just like God, and I have like the power and authority of God, so that, nobody else can challenge her. Those aren't her exact words, but that's what I got out of her answer. And that really blessed me. So again, go to the description, click on the link. I want those responses. I think I may compile the responses and do a follow-up video separate from the actual lesson to just really have that two-way communication, because I'm really interested in what you have to say. And I want to know that what I'm doing is making an impact and helping you in some way. So again, click the link, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you.